Alicia, and this is a channel where I want to talk about cross stitch. Welcome everyone to my channel. So today is the 30th of April and I wanted to make a sort of recap of the month because the last time I filmed was about 2 weeks ago, and since then I had 2 finishes, 2 fully finished things, like 4 finishes in total, and 2 of them I FFO'd. I also did lots of progress on my projects, and I also have some changes of my mania plans, which I know I was talking about them in my last video, but life happens. Now I want other things to do. So not very different, but just a little bit. So in total in April, I think I was stitching about 28 days, like every day except for yesterday, because yesterday I was FFOing things and it took me all day to do that. And in the evening I didn't really feel about stitching anything, so I just watched some movies with my husband and we ate some ice cream, and that was wonderful, like just a break. And today I'm not sure if I'm gonna stitch anything because right after I finish filming I am going on a stitch date with my best friend who is a newbie stitcher. Hi Anne! But so far we went on 3-4 dates like that and we never stitched. Like we talk, we eat, we go to some bars, we dance, but we never stitch. Like last time we even brought stitching with us and she forgot her project. So it wasn't very nice of me to start stitching without her, so I didn't. So to say, I don't know if I'm gonna stitch today, but it's gonna be a wonderful day anyway. So right now it's about 12 in the noon. My husband just finished his morning classes. He's having online classes in his kindergarten with kids, group class, but none work for me still. I don't know when it's gonna be still. So, and I still have lots of free time. That's why he went shopping. I kindly asked him to go out shopping for a couple of hours when I can speak to you. Because it's not that I will be embarrassed talking about in front of my husband, like he would be sitting somewhere behind the camera and I will be talking, but I think it would be uncomfortable for him to be like very silent for an hour, something more, not to move, not to walk anywhere or something, because we live in a studio and it's like 1-room apartment with a kitchen and bathroom, but I can't, like, there is no other room for him to stay. So back to stitching. And yay! Back to stitching and yay! So, as you see, I was gardening a little bit. It's my radishes, I think. Yeah, this one is radishes. It's super lovely and it's growing. I don't know why it's growing like this. Maybe, yeah, you can see it's growing on one side. But it's super cool and I just wanted to show it to you. Like, yay. So, this month I was stitching, I was FFOing, I was gardening. I have 3 or 4 more plants like this. I have lettuce, 2 lettuces, 1 radish. I have some more flowers, a cactus, and some Chinese beans, I think. But they were in Chinese, so I don't know their name. So, yeah, I'm gardening inside of my studio on a windowsill. So all of my plants are in plastic containers from food which we received previously. Like, yeah, I'm a very lazy gardener, but I love how they grow so much. So whenever it's like my husband telling me like, you know, you don't need to water them so much, you don't need to give them extra things, like they will grow by themselves pretty fine. I'm like, no, I want to grow them as big as they can. Like last year, by this time, we already had some tomatoes because last winter we were living in another apartment and there was a bigger balcony where I could grow some tomatoes, and they were like up to my chest, like from the floor up to my chest. Yeah, they had like containers like pretty much this big, but they were 6 plants up to my chest, and I think we had around 35 little red tomatoes, which were very delicious, like extremely, like I forgot how a real tomato should taste before I tasted them, because whatever tomatoes you buy in a supermarket is still like some watery taste. It's not a real tomato from a garden. But when I tasted those, they were so rich in taste. And I think by the time we were moving out, they were not done, so we just plucked out all of the green tomatoes as well and made some salads with them. So yeah, I ate them all. So around 40 with the green ones, around 40 tomatoes we got from them. I don't know how well those will be and if they are ever gonna grow some radish in them, but I just love growing something green. It makes me happy. So, very happy. And now I'm ready to go back to stitching. I'm sorry. I just wanted to share things I do in my life. And the third thing I want to show you is my new tote bag. In my last cross stitch, in my last Flosstube, I said that I'm gonna put this lantern on a tote bag. This is a lantern designed by Alisa Kniaz. She, I don't know if it has a name, real name. It's like a lantern and it has a number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. She has a whole series of different lanterns in different colors with some gems inside. But no real name, not like spring lantern or purple one or something. So it's just a lantern. So my lantern, I put it on tote bag. It's a ready-made bag from Nome. Nome is a Chinese, maybe Korean shop, supermarket. Like they have lots of stuff there. Like for household appliances and stuff like that. Like making your house more comfortable and cozy and stuff like that. So it has a white bag with this very light peachy hands, and I think it would look nice because the lantern itself is very bright, and I put it on a very bright Linda. It's a 27 count Linda, which I dyed myself in pinks, purples and blues. So I think it's already enough color in it, so I just put it on and mounted on it. I did it in hand because I don't have a sewing machine here, so I did everything in hand. Yeah, you can see I cannot center it much, but I still like it. Like I centered it on the bag itself. So I used just normal, it's a cross and then extra cross. And what I did, I used just sewing thread. It's purple, pink and green. It makes a nice texture. I think I will put close-ups of the bag in my Instagram one day when I will make a photo shoot of it. So probably you need to subscribe to my Instagram to see something because my camera doesn't do close-ups. But it's still nice. I mean, purples and pinks and greens, it's the same colors as the lantern, so they suit very nicely. And then I cut off the fabric and make a little teasel, and I just love the color changes in it. Like this is purple and this is the green one, or the blue green one, and then it goes here and a little blue here. I made a little teasel. It's a little shorter on the upper, and the sides and the downside is longer. So nice tote bag. In the inside it's fine, I think. because the inside is like that. You see, there used to be a cherry inside, a print inside. I didn't like it, so I closed it, and the inside looks like this. So it's quite nice. Yeah, and I'm not planning to cover anything. Like, there is nothing to rip or to touch or dirty, so it's just a square there, so it's fine. So my first FFO is this lantern. Wonderful. Like, it's summer season. I love tote bags. Like, I just have maybe 5 or 6, and they just carry things around in them, and travel projects goes wonderfully in it, because I carry my travel projects just in little bags, and I don't sew my project bags, though I want to, but I want to do it on a sewing machine. That's why I just bought some stuff like that. Very nice made. It's from Momins. Very cute. I think I bought this one in Korea, so it goes well inside. It doesn't have any, doesn't get any space, so I still have lots of space for other stuff. And it still gets out, put in another tote bag, gets out, put in another tote bag. So, love tote bags. That's all you have to know. So my next fully finished object is something I really modified, and I really struggled a little bit, but I still love how it looks like. So this is pattern by Maria Domina. She goes by Little Room in the Attic in Instagram. So she has like this cute series of freebies with girls sitting on an armchair with a laptop. There is one on the window with a cat, and there is another one reading. So I think it's like Stay Home with Internet, it's called. And she made them for the hashtag Be Well and Stitch. So if you follow the hashtag, you can see all the freebies. And I loved her designs, but I never stitched any of those, and I wanted to try like something. And then I saw this freebie. I'm like, yeah, I can make a freebie. I will see how the designer makes her patterns. I will see if I like stitching them, because the artwork she's making is beautiful, but she uses so much craning and so much sparkly threads and lots of backstitch. But backstitch is also made in cranings, so it's not like black and white backstitch, which I'm used to. Like, I'm used to outlining things with backstitch. She uses backstitch as embellishment. So I was not sure if this was for me. And when I started stitching it, I didn't want to stitch craning. I was like, I will try to substitute some of the floss and some of the colors to suit myself more. Because if I would ever stitch Mirabilia, probably I would not stitch craning. And I'm not gonna do beading. I will just do it in stitches. So what I did is I changed her dress, her eye, her hair, some of the cat, and some of the armchair from Cranix into DMC Etoile. It's like very soft DMC thread, but it has sparkles inside it, and it's sparkling very subtly. Like, you cannot see it here, but through my eyes I can see it. I can barely see it, but it's very subtle sparkle, and I loved it. Like, it still sparkles like the designer wanted, but not much as I wanted. So what else I did? There were lots of backstitch here in Cranix, so I just repeated all the backstitch in black thread. And before, one of the subscribers commented that they were afraid of backstitch, or they love the backstitch like I do, but like tons of backstitch, but she wasn't ready to do it herself. So my tip for doing backstitch is very easy. First of all, I bought a huge spool of black sewing thread. Like, it's not DMC or anything, it's just a normal sewing thread. Can't find it. So it's very, very thin. And I use it with a very sharp needle, which is used for beading, I believe. It's just a very sharp and very thin needle to do the backstitch, which like in one strand. And I also have this full of black thread. It's not so thin. Like, you see, it's almost finished. It's not so thin, it's thicker. Like if we compare these two, you can barely see the first one, but you can very vividly see this one. It's because it's like twice or 3 times thicker. So it's a thick black thread, and you see I use it a lot. So I use it for backstitch in 2 strands. Like, it still gives the impression of a thicker backstitch, but I don't do the like 2 strands of floss on my needle at the same time. Like, I don't like how it turns out, like if there are 2 strands at the same time. And that's why I don't really like colorful backstitch, because I don't have so much sewing thread in color. That's my secret. I just use sewing thread, thin one, thick one. I also have white sewing thread and white thick thread for the white backstitch in 2 strands. So it makes my life so much easier. Like, I just thread it in and stitch around, backstitch around, and just enjoy my life. And it still gives the same impression of a project in 1 strand, 2 strands, 3 strands. So yeah, when it's like 1, 2, and 3, then I use the normal sewing thread for 1 strand of backstitch. For 2, I use DMC, which is a normal floss, and for 3, I use just this. So it gives this variation of dimension, but I'm just stitching with 1 strand, and it's so much easier. So going back here, so I backstitched it. It has only black and white backstitch, some white on the cat, on her hair, and in her dress. So I changed the color here because her hair was originally very red, very, very red. I'm not red-haired. No, I'm not even blondie. Like, I dyed my hair 2 weeks ago in blue, and now it's all washed out. It just gives us some impression of greenish, a little bit greenish here. But anyway, I like blonde hair, so blonde hair for the girl. And I added stay home, hashtag stay home. It's done in petite stitches, petite half stitches with 2 strands over 1, if you understand what I mean. So it says stay home. It's very cute, and I FFO it in a very little squishy pillow. Not so little, but yeah, like my head. So in the back, I choose this blue fabric with the yellow flowers. I know it's very contrast. Like, this is cute and yellow and pink, and this is like, woo, so colorful. But I think they look good together. Like, I like contrast back of the things. So the yellows, as in her hair, and oranges, and the blues correspond very well with the blue pom-poms, and here is the blue chair for the blue pom-poms. So I think it looks lovely. So this is a small pillow I made. It's gonna sit here for the rest of the video. Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah. So these were my 2 FFOs, which I did all in one day. Sorry, water break. So it was kind of tiresome because I was doing it in hand, so every little petite stitch and some of the things I had to go over and over again because I do it in one strand, so I would sew the pom-poms or on the whole length of the pillow, then I will sew them again just to make sure they catch up to the pillow. And I think I did a really great job. Like, I mean, you can't even see where I was closing the pillow. I still sew them on the front, not inside, I know, but I really like this like blue line which appears if you sew them on top like this. It gives it some kind of like delicacy. I don't know, but it's so cute. So something else I finished. The second finish, this was the 4th finish. So the second finish of this month was the Plague Nurse by Night Spirit Studio. And the last time I showed you, it was just her head. And right now it's all done. It's on this very bright blue. It's not like light blue, it's more darker in real life, but it's very bright. So the grays stand out very nicely. As I said, this was to commemorate the year. I love the idea. Like, I love the idea that it's freebie for the quarantine stitching. So there is a year, there is a hashtag. So just to remember why you chose it to stitch. One more thing is I stitched it because it really reminds me of my mom. She is now working. She is working in a medical establishment. She is a doctor's secretary. So she's not a doctor herself, but she still greets the patients that come to see the doctor, and she still sees them, and she works with lots of paper from these patients. So every day my mom goes to work, it's kind of worrisome and sometimes scary, but she's an essential, and in some way it's very nice because otherwise she will live like me, jobless, and she is the supporter of my little sister right now and herself, so she's the bread bringer. So yeah, just when I saw that, I was thinking about her. We will not stop about it because it's not positive thoughts, it's more like troublesome thoughts, but sometimes we have them, right? And one more thing I love about this work is that it really is in a game style. Like, it's some kind like from some scary horror game style, pixelated, which I totally love. Like this week I was watching lots of Flosstube. I'm not commenting much, but I'm watching a lot. I'm not commenting not because I don't want to, just because sometimes I'm trying to comment by the end of the video. So the video will finish and I will have something to say. But sometimes I have things to say in the beginning or in the middle, and by the end of the video I totally forget them. And right now I'm stitching on this exactly sofa, so I put my laptop or phone in front of me on a chair, and I have all the things I need on my lap. So every time I want to comment or I want to write something, I have to put away all the cross stitch from my lap, all the floss, all the spools, everything. I have to go to the laptop, type something down and everything. So it's lots of work, and sometimes when I don't really remember what I wanted to say in the beginning or in the middle, I would be like, just switch to another one. Sometimes I'm so engrossed in stitching that I miss the ending of the video and it just puts another one automatically. So I'm very sorry if I'm not commenting so much on your videos, but I watch a lot. I watch a lot of new Flosstubers, I watch a lot of old ones, I watch a lot of Mania plans, which enabled me a lot, like inspired me. Also I'm watching lots of game playthroughs. Like there is a problem with the internet in China, so I can't really watch movies online, or I can't watch series online, but I can watch YouTube, and whatever is on YouTube, there is like I can. So I like to watch scary or horror game playthroughs, because it's still like you're watching a movie, but especially with commentary, like everyone, the guy or girl who is playing the game, they will be telling you what they're doing, where they're going, why are they doing their maybe thoughts and whatever is going on. So you don't need to pay so much attention, but still like you have a real horror movie in front of you. And horror movies and horror games are my jam. It's not that I'm only watching them, but they are the things that make me relax, make me, like, whenever I'm sick or I'm in pain or I have cramps or I'm in a bad mood, I tend to put on a horror movie or a horror game to just relaxes me. I don't know why. So that's it. So that's why when I look at this work, I'm in love. I'm just in love. And I see it in a black frame, but I haven't found one yet. So I'll find one. I will definitely FFO it. Maybe not now, but later. So we need to speed up. So next thing I finished was this little guy. Ooh, that's a very big piece of fabric for a small cross stitch. So what is it? It's a skull of a cat. It's designed by Makaronka Stitch. She's a Russian designer, and she has lots of work, lots of designs with a lot of backstitch on. And some of them only has backstitch. Like there should have been some half stitches in blue where the splotches of color are, but I decided not to do the half stitches. Instead, I dyed my own fabric for them. And there is not a single stitch here, X cross, whatever. There is not a single cross here. It's only backstitch. All of this is just done with lines of backstitch. So it's very intricate, very difficult, but it's worth it. I mean, every time I was sitting down, I would be like spending maybe an hour or two a day on it in the mornings, because of course, my fault, I was stitching it on 30 count. I was like, why couldn't you just choose 25, 27, something like this? It would be so much easier to see the holes. But yeah, it's so small. Like I would think that on 27 count it would be like bigger, much bigger. So it's a skull of a cat, the teeth, the eye socket, flowers and leaves. I just love it how it looks like. I don't know how I'm gonna FFO it, but I would like to frame it. I would like a pillow with it. I would like a bag with it. Oh, it would be perfect for so many things. So it's just perfect. I don't know, I love it. And this gave me like some bonuses because I am taking part in some cells, and sometimes these cells, they have inner games inside them. Like this week we're stitching backstage, or that week we're stitching like 500 stitches in black or in red or in yellow. So just some little games. So this was working very well for something in backstage, something in black. So steadily and very slowly every morning I spent like 2 hours on it. So in love with it, so in love with the detailing of it, like this little circles, dots, I don't know, it's perfect. So this is my 4th start this month and the 4th finish. Yeah, so I also had some more starts because April was my month of starts. So in total I had 7, using 4. Let's go on starts then. So the start number 5, I don't know if they were like in what order I started them, but just let's say number 5 was The Fox in a Dress by Barbara Anna. Oh, it's very big, look, very big font. The design is not big, the piece of fabric is big. So I think it's also some kind of 30 or 28 count, maybe 28, because it looks bigger than a skull. Okay, let's do it like this. So it's called The Light. It's Fox in a Dress by Barbara Anna. So last time I think you saw that I was doing the vines and the tail and the key and some kind of dress, I think. So now I finished the head, I finished her upper body part with her sleeves. I changed the color of the sleeves into what I think would look better on this fabric, and I really love it. Lots of color changes though. I changed the colors of the berries into some reds I have on me because I didn't see the berries the same color as the fox. I think like in my mind they are different colors, so they should be stitched with different floss. I am substituting the leaf color, it's greens and grays, into this color, this variegated thread, I don't know, hand-dyed thread. So you see it's like, no, you don't see. So it's greens, white and dark greens and grays a little bit, but here it's more dark and light only, like you don't see the middle color much, but I think it looks nice in person. On camera it's sometimes more washed out, so in person it's more bright and I love it. I also had a little mistake in her lantern, and my mistake was I just added a little X here and I didn't notice it right away, so I stitched the one side. I went to down through all the lantern, what do you call like the thing that's lantern standing on? I don't know. So, and when I was going up I noticed that it was like 1 or 2 stitches shorter. So instead of like frogging all of this, I decided I would just add a stitch or 2 here. So my lantern will be a little fatter, but I actually think it would look nicer, it would look more realistic, because I think this is like a handle of the lantern and this is a real lantern, and I don't know, I just have this feeling that this thing should be bigger. Like usually it's under the glass where the fire is and it's bigger than the handle. I don't know. So this is my progress on the fox in the dress. And what I have left is just like the finish of the vine, her skirt, and the little town here. And she's done. So I was stitching it for this weekend for 24 hours of cross stitch, and I did quite a good progress. Actually, this weekend was super busy for me. I just, in Saturday morning, I think, I saw that it's like 24 hours of cross stitch, and I was like, yay, I can do that. Like 24 hours, pff, I'm sometimes stitching like 10 hours a day because I have nothing else to do. So why not? But then my husband told me we are going to our friends to make dumplings, like homemade dumplings. I was like, okay, sure, I can do dumplings, and then I'm gonna cross stitch for the rest of the day. So I took a couple of projects with me. I took the fox in the dress. I took something else I'll show you later. So, and then we went there and we spent half of the day making dumplings. In total, I think after 2 days, just 3 of us, we made more than 400 dumplings. So now all my freezer is stuffed with dumplings. They're very yummy. But it was so much time and effort, and my fingers were hurting after so many dumplings. So I couldn't stitch much, but I managed to do 24 hours in 3 days. Of course, I couldn't do like so many people on Instagram did. Like they would take a picture every hour. Sometimes I was stitching. After 20 minutes, they will call me back because the dough will be ready, or otherwise we will be out of the stuffing, out of meat, and someone will have to run to the supermarket for more meat. So, and we'll have to get ready for more dumplings. So I'll have some extra time for stitching. So in total, I spent 6 hours stitching on fox. I spent 6 hours stitching on wreath, and I did around 900 something stitches. So I'm super proud of it, because this is the wreath I'm stitching from Fruzilok. It's on a wooden cut foundation. I don't know. So what I was meaning to say is that this wreath, I'm taking part in a cell where I have to do the reports every week. Like every week I will take a picture of it, what I've done during the whole week. It doesn't really matter how many stitches I did. Like it could be 100, it could be 200, but I have to stitch it every week. So even though I'm doing some kind of mania this year, I believe I'm still stitching on it every week. But I guess like 1 or 2 hours a week won't do me bad. I mean, it's okay. So what I did this week was I did lots of green here, here, and here, and I finished at least 4 brown colors in the nuts here, here, and here. Walnuts? No, these are walnuts. What are these nuts? I also add some gray color in the beetle. So 900 stitches, still not much. I'll show you how it should look. Yep. So it looks like this. I have this. Not much, but it's a big stitch. I mean, I'm not gonna finish it in May, probably, maybe after all the stuff, but it was my start, and I did quite a large progress on it. Wonderful. So another start I made was exactly for 24 hours of cross stitch. So I took the kit with me, but the kit is Mereshka, yeah, I don't know why they did it, but it's like that. So summertime. It has poppies and it has 2 yellow birds and 2 ladybugs. I think it looks wonderful, but it goes with the brown Ada, 16 count Ada. Originally I was about like, okay, I will do it on 16 count Ada. Why not? I already have Ada in my whips and I'm not opposed to Ada. I'm like, usually I'm not stitching on Ada, but I'm not opposed. Like, it's not like, oh, I will never stitch on it. No, sure, why not? Then I was thinking that maybe I will have some even weave with the same shade of coloring. I was like, sure, yeah, I will just substitute on even weave and I will love it more because it's not a full coverage here and like you will still see the holes in the Ada, which I'm not a fan. I like the full coverage on Ada when you don't see the holes. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it like that. Then I was browsing the Instagram one day and one lady, she had it on a light blue fabric. And it's such a difference. I mean, wonderful. It's really summer. It's the poppies pop out just so much. It's wonderful. And then I have the idea of having a light blue fabric like the sky. And I went stash diving into my fabric stash and I didn't have the right amount of blue. Like I had the perfect color, but it was too small because this is done on 16 count and I think it's like 130 on something else. So stitch count. But I was too short, like this part was too short and I didn't want to have little margins because I see it in a frame and I want to give like twice as bigger space on top. Like I don't want it in a square, but maybe a rectangle where there is just blue sky, because this is what I saw the girl did and I loved it. So I didn't have enough of blue one. I was looking through the rest and I had very bright green, which would also look wonderful, but I was kind of scared that the green would be lost, though there is lots of backstitch here and the yellow would pop out, but I wasn't very fond of it. So then I was looking through blues, but I only had like bright blues, like my sofa blue. And then I saw that originally from long time ago, I think I won a giveaway somewhere. Because it was long ago, I'm ashamed that I don't remember who gave it to me or where I won the giveaway, but it was this wonderful piece of Ada. It's 16 count Ada, but it's dyed in this sky blue and it's bigger. It's actually bigger than I need, so it fits wonderfully. So I started it. I started in the corner. I gave it wonderful margins because it's still gonna be way larger. So I think it's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So clumsy today. Clumsy day. So it's like 1/3 of the design of the height here, so I think it will go up to here maybe, the design I mean, and then it will have lots of space for just sky. The other side is actually it's darker when you look at it, but on my camera it's somehow some kind lighter. Words are difficult. Okay, that's my floss which I parked. So that's my start. It's the beginning of the first puppy and it's a little more than 1,000 stitches, which I think I accomplished in 6.5, 7 hours. I think 7 hours. So these were the first 7 hours for 24 hours of cross stitch and the third project I worked on. The last 4, I think I had 7, 6, and 6, something like that. So I had the last 4 hours, and my math is bad. No, doesn't matter. So I had the last 4 hours on this, which I just tried to finish all the stitches here, but I didn't. So after 24 hours of cross stitch were finished, I spent Monday and Tuesday stitching it to finish it, and FFO it on Wednesday, and today's Thursday. So yeah, wonderful. So I started it, so now I have to do little progress on it every week, maybe 200-300 stitches. But I mean, I could do it in an hour, 2 hours. I'm color completing here, but because it's so big, what I'm doing is like I'm taking a thread, color completed it. Then I'm taking another thread of color, doing it. Another thread of color, doing it. And like you see where my threads run out. And this was like way bigger and my hoop was small. Yeah, I'm gonna hoop it in a bigger hoop next time, so it's gonna be bigger. But this time it was like travel project because I took it to another place. So I didn't want big piece. I'm very proud of it. It looks wonderful. It pop out so much. Like these colors, they just burn my eyes, so bright they are. But I love them. So one more thing. So these were my 7 starts for finishes. I also worked on Winter Ship by John Clayton, and I did 50%, but I think I mentioned it in my last video. So, but it's all like April recap, what I did in April. And also I stitched on one of my oldest whips, I think it's my second oldest whip, Storytime Sampler from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And how I'm doing it is I'm substituting some of the stories. I recharted some of the stories into what I read originally in my childhood, and I'm doing it much brighter than they're charted. I'm actually just choosing the colors from my pile of leftovers from the kits and from the things I've ever done. So it's just leftovers of colors, and I'm using it in a project instead of throwing them away. So it really helps my frugal self to feel better that I'm not throwing away anything. It still can be found the use of. So last time I think you saw the Winnie the Pooh and Alice in Wonderland. This time I finished Peter Pan, and I think he was my biggest love in the childhood. I mean, the book itself. I loved the book. When I was 5, maybe 6, I believe, and I went to kindergarten, I wanted a Peter Pan costume for New Year. Like, we don't dress for Halloween, but we do dress for New Year. So I asked my mom to sew me a Peter Pan costume. So she made me a cap and the dress and even the green leggings. So I had everything. I was Peter Pan. And I believe I never grew up since then. I still want to be the Peter Pan. Though I'm almost 28, I never grew up. So yeah, why I say almost, I will tell you later. Never mind. So this is the Peter Pan, and I think I changed the color hair of the mermaid from brown into red because Ariel, of course, why not? Ariel has red hair, and there is a palm tree behind him, and there is sand, and there are waves. The white ones, they really make nice waves. So in person you really can see this dimension of waves, and I did the sky 1/2 and the sand and the waves 2/2. So there is a real dimension between the sky and the waves. So that's my Peter Pan. And one more is Peppa Longstocking. I don't know how you pronounce it. Maybe Pippi Longstocking. I'm not sure, but we say Peppa Longstocking. Peppy. Yes, Peppy. Whatever, don't quote me on that. So, I believe I chose two other designs for this. There was a boy and a horse, originally in the sampler, and there was this girl with a green house. I believe it's Anne and Green Gables, maybe. So I put them together to make Peppy. So she's a bright orange-haired girl with a horse. She also has stockings, orange and black, has a straw hat. She has her favorite monkey, which I forgot the name. Whatever. If you ever read the book, you would understand. So she was a girl who was living alone in a very old house with a horse and a monkey, and there were two other her friends, the boy and the girl, sister and brother, who often came visiting and get into adventures with her. And I think it was my first audiobook ever. Like, I don't know how old I was, maybe 7, 8, but I had these cassettes with the I think it was like radio play with some of her stories, and they were songs. So I used to act out her story with my toys and play like that, and I will always loved listening to all the songs and the readings of the book. So I just wanted to put her in my sampler because it is one of the stories I grew up on. So Peppy Longstocking, which I forgot how to pronounce at first, but whatever. So I finished 2 frames in 2 weeks. Yeah. I think I'm able to do at least 1 more frame in May, like after I will stitch my Mania plans. So we'll see. I'm not putting it away. It's still right here, but sometimes I just don't have the proper mood for it. So some more, but it's coming along. Yeah, it's great progress for me, because this been in my whip pile for over a year now. Like, it's from 2018. Yeah, it's from 2018 October. So, and now finally it has 4 frames done out of 12. So I'm so proud of myself. Really, really, really proud of myself. So one more thing I wanted to talk about is my Mania plans. So when I finished making last video, I said that I was gonna do a monogamous Mania on this piece. This is Magpies and Persimmons by Sioux Crafts. So this is done on 25 count linen, 2/1, half crossed. So wonderful, yeah. It's like a picture, like really picture. I don't think it even needs backstitch, because the backstitch is needed on a bigger piece when you don't see exactly the things, but because it's like way smaller and the stitches are cramped together, I don't know if it needs backstitch. I will see. Maybe I will add some backstitch, but if I add some backstitch, it will be like probably black, because there is a lot of color here. So I was gonna do a monogamous Mania on this piece, which I'm still doing, because I just, in Instagram, there is a challenge that you have to stitch every day in May, and on one piece. You can finish it and start another one, but you have to start like at least on one piece from the very beginning, or if it's like not close to the finish, and it's so not close to the finish, so I believe it's right for me. So the challenge is you have to stitch every day, and since I stitched almost every day in April, I stitched like 28 days out of 30. I think, yeah, it will be a struggle, but not a minor one. I mean, it won't be such a big challenge for myself to stitch 31 days in a row. It will be more difficult for me to stitch 31 days in a row on one project, because you see, I like changing things. Sometimes I'm just sitting stitching on one thing, then I put it down, I take another thing, and from a pile I will stitch on that thing. I can get burned out very easily if I stitch long time on one piece. That's why I was stitching with it in January and February. I think I finished the third of the piece, and then I couldn't touch it in March and April at all. But now I'm like, okay, you wanted to make progress on your old ribs, then you're doing it. You're doing monogamous mania on this piece. Plus there is a challenge, so I will have to show in my stories every day that I stitch on it. Like I will stitch, and in the evening I will take a picture. Probably in the morning I will post it. So I will post every day, maybe 100, maybe 200 stitches that I did. And I don't think it will be a big stretch from me. Like 100 stitches on this piece is just one thread. I mean it, because it's so tiny. When I take the one thread from a kit, and it's a kit, I will remind you how it looks. So much threads. So long ones. They're really long. I braided them. So when I take out one thread, I put it in two and I loop it. It's still very long, and it gives me at least like maybe 100 half stitches. But if I make a blend, because there are so many blends here, more floss. Two. So it will be even bigger. That gives me like 200. So much floss here. Really, I like how it looks. If I do like this, like this. Maybe this is what I think I'm gonna do with the rest of the floss when I finish stitching it all, because I'm done with the third of the project, and then not done with the third of the floss at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the magpie. I tend to finish it, and I intend to finish at least like the body of the second magpie. I don't know if I will be able to finish the wooden part and go to persimmons, but so my plan, I don't have a real plan, but my plan is to stitch as much as I can every day on this project. Plus I have the wreath and the summertime, which I will be stitching every week, just a little bit every week also. But then I watched Lindy Stitches, Stephanie from Lindy Stitches, and she said she's doing Sania, Stitchmaynia, which is you stitch weekdays on your main project, which you want to give love to, and then you start something new on the weekends. And I'm like, yeah, this is I will have some something else to show you on the videos. I will have some changes, and if I will need, and this way I will not get burned out. Like I expect on the weekdays I will stitch more than 200 stitches a day, and maybe on the weekends I will just do like 100, 200 stitches, just like to keep stitching it. But this way I will have something else to stitch, and if I choose some smalls, I will easily get some finishes by the end of the month. So I don't know, like when I started this Flosstube thing, now I'm thinking about like I need to be showing something. I need some things to show. I can't be like stitching only one thing for months. No one will watch it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do some smalls. And I know there are 5 weekends which I'm all gonna start something, but at first I just chose 3, and I will see how it goes, because at first I will be stitching the old deer. It's like Makaronka stitch. This one has a series of animals. They're like mix of owl and another animal. There is an owl fox, owl deer, owl cat, owl something else. And I have 4 of them, and since I'm doing stitch from stash, I only can start things which I already had in my possession before this year. And why not start them? Since they're small, they're cute, and I originally intended to stitch 4 of them and make into ornaments for my Christmas tree. Make them into pin caps for the Christmas tree, because they're like kind of round. So yeah, and they are from one series. Why not? But I'm not gonna start all 4 of them, just maybe 1, and I'll see how it goes. Then another start will be Maria Brovko, this little white rabbit, because I've dyed some very dark but very cute fabric for I don't know what. And then I was going through my stash and I saw this white rabbit, and I'm like, oh, he will really pop up on my fabric. And because I couldn't choose something colorful, the fabric itself is colorful. I'll see if I have it here. Yeah, I have it here. Sorry that I haven't showed it from before. So this is the fabric I dyed myself. So as you see, it's very rainbow colorful, and it's actually dark. Oh yeah, here, if you fold it in 2, it stops being see-through, and you can actually see it. So I dyed it, I love it, but I don't know what I can stitch on it. And the white rabbit, I think it would look lovely on it, because it will pop. So for this, I got the white rabbit, and I showed it in my way parade that I have this little cup of peonies, and I intend to stitch another cup with other flowers on this piece, and then I cross stitch so I don't kill people. So it's like kind of cute, kind of murderous, just like me. So the 3rd stitch, and I think each of them, maybe except for the rabbit, each of them I can do in 2 days easily. Like this one, easily 2 days. The old deer, easily in 2 days. And I don't know about the rabbit, but maybe I can just at least stitch 1/3 of it. So it will be nice. I still have 2 empty slots. I don't know if I'm gonna choose something else from my stash, or I'm gonna choose some freebie, or it's my birthday month. Why I was saying that I'm almost 28, because May is my birthday month, and the 15th of May is my birthday. I will be 28, so I don't know if I want to make a birthday start, because it will be Friday, and I will be supposed to work on this. But maybe I can buy myself a little present and start something new, not out of my stash, because my birthday, why not? So I'm thinking about it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's my plan. So I believe that's all about my whips and plans. And now I'm gonna show you my husband's whip. Last video I had several viewers that told me that they love my husband's whip, and like I think every comment included something about my husband's whip, and I was like, Nick, my husband's name is Nick. Nick, I showed it in my video, and now everyone is commenting, mentioning something about your cat, Kitty. Well, I was even told to give a name to the kitty. He didn't choose it yet, but we will. But I mean, everyone was mentioning it. So my husband was like, maybe I should start Flosstube too, since it is so popular. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? Or maybe you can come over and show it. But he didn't, but this time, it's not a sneak peek, but this time he allowed me to show it on my Flosstube. So this is how much it grew, and it grew substantially, because before it only had a cat had a head and the blue hands and stripes. Now the cat is fully finished with black. Like this week he finished the black body, 2 weeks, and the tail. He also did with this purple swirl. There were 4 more swirls in pink, light pink, and this whole background is stitched in bright pink, so which he started to do. Oh my god, this wool floss, I don't know, lies so wonderfully. He has so even crosses. I don't know how well you can see, but they're so even. I'm so jealous. I'm like, I'm trying here to lay my crosses nicely, and you just cross stitch like that, and they look wonderful. I mean it. I absolutely mean it. Just look how wonderful they lie down. Maybe he has a hidden talent. I don't know, maybe. So this is a kitty. He still doesn't have a name, but if you think of a name for him, write it down in the description what I'm saying in the comments, please. Yeah, so I think it's time for me to finish up, because I'm losing my words, I'm losing my mind. Sometimes my mind just goes blank. So I told you about my whips, I told you about my plans. I'm doing some kind of in between monogamous mania and Stitchmaynia. So I'm still stitching every day on one project, but I'm doing new starts, and I think the next video I will be doing right before my birthday, maybe on the 14th, just to have this 2 weeks interval, because I really liked how I have this 2 weeks to stitch a lot, so I will have a lot to show you. I will have like maybe some life updates or things we do, like this Saturday we are going on a trip to Great Chinese Wall, which I have already been, but there are different sections of Great Chinese Wall, and this time we're going to a new one. This section is next to the lake, so half of the wall has fallen under the water, and it's promised to be so beautiful. So if everything's fine and I am able to do some photos, I will put it in the next video maybe. So these are the plans, and today I'm gonna dress up and go on a stitch a date, which I'm not gonna stitch anything, but just gonna have fun with my friend. Nothing much to say else, but if you like this video, please give me thumbs up, likes, comment if you have anything to tell me, what you liked, what you don't like. Maybe you have some comments about my plants and how better I can manage them, because I can manage them way better than I'm doing right now. And subscribe if you're a new one and you liked what you see. So see you next time, and stay healthy and keep stitching.